Hi all, welcome back. Red Storm, Dark Blue Defection, Scenario 4, Iron Eagle. This is my part 22, Saturday evening. It's funny how you always think you're going to have more time than time allows for you to do all the things that you want to do. I've had free time. Tracy's away for a couple of nights, so I've had the dogs to deal with and that. But you just don't have all the time you think you have. However, I have been able to sit down maybe more than some would, so I'm probably luckier than others. I haven't, however, set anything up on the other table. I don't know if it looks like it's going to happen at all today. Maybe. I guess it's just because I'm still not sure what to do, and I know whatever it is I'm set up, I'm going to have my head in the rule book trying to work out what it is I'm doing and whatever. It's the usual, you know that once you get started, you get into it and you start to know where to look in the rule book and whatever. But it's just getting to that. It's just motivating yourself to get to that stage. Anyway, okay, so back to this now. We're just moving on to turn 7. Just start of a new turn. You've got to think that things are going to happen this turn. We're running out of chances to take out our problems. We've got one EOGM left. Our bombs are still waiting to be dropped. They could drop this turn, and I don't know, I'm kind of feeling that probably a lot of you are screaming and saying, look, just go and drop the bombs, get this done and over with. But it might be that is the right call. To be honest, I'm going to take some heat going in there, but yeah. Well, we need to see who gets the initiative first, and then maybe have a look at it, work it out what we need to do. I mean, we do still have that one EOGM for us, Silver Fox, in it. Whether he has a go at the SA13 or the AA Barrage, I was looking back on just watch back. I got through part 19 and part 20. I haven't looked over part 21 yet, but I've released it out there, so I just thought, yeah, what the heck. So yeah, I got some comments from John from part 20. So nothing from 21 as of yet, but it's not long being up. So these are look like they're separate comments, so he must have done them at different, I don't know, he's got them time-stamped out of order, shall we say, than what he normally has. So at the 23-minute mark, he says, yes, you could have split Cobra last admin phase. This is me talking about splitting Cobra up. It would have the exact same status as Cobra, i.e. disorder, manoeuvre, marker, etc. So it would have been as I thought. The one thing when I was watching it back was the one thing that I would have benefited by splitting it is that half the flight would have stayed, would have not had the crippled aircraft and been able to set dash throttle, so it might have been able to get to an orbit point, which is kind of, that's that we're heading for. We're on turn 7. We're not going to get there and back. And I might as well add his other comment. He also commented, also note the runway rating needed for an F-15. Now, he didn't mention anything about the fact of these runways being able to, I think because that's behind the front and that's not an option for us. But you mentioned the runway ratings, John, which I hadn't really considered because I was only going to be taking the airfield as a rally point just to get the +8. That was what I'd been thinking. No, and my thoughts on that, I wouldn't have thought I needed to have the runway rating to do that. Yes, I understand I would need the runway rating to land. Now here we go, rally point 8.35. Additionally, all friendly open airfields may be used as rally points. Oh, I forgot about this bit as well. Rally points must be at least 10 hexes from a side's target hexes, if any. John reminded me of this the last time. I'd forgot about this as well. So that may eliminate a friendly open airfield. Well, that certainly would, yeah. So what it means is, well, hang on. What are our target for this scenario though? Is it not just the runway that's target? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, live flickings within 10 of that anyway. I think it would just be the runway. Because I'm looking at this 2K22 and I'm thinking, do we count 10 hexes from that? But surely not. So it must just be the runway, I think, is the actual target. So yeah, so I mean, although I wasn't considering the fact this is a runway rating of 1, that the F-15 would not have been able to land there because it needs a runway rating of 3, my intention had only been to go get round about it, to use it as a rally point for the +8. So that's what my thinking had been, because I've already looked at the time it takes to land and take off. Yeah, I know by landing it removes the disorder automatically, but by the time you land and take off, it's not. But on saying that, by the time I reach this orbit point to get back, but you could see, if I was using that as a rally point, if I was allowed to use that as a rally point, shall we say, it's quite close. I would have maybe been able to fly up there, get the +8, get my disorder off, and maybe get back into the action in time. But yeah, well, it's not the case for 2 reasons. I think we read that this was under Warsaw Pact control, so not sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can't be using it. And then plus the fact we've just counted 10 hexes from a target, classes that as not an option for a friendly open airfield. But man, like I've said, I don't think it's a friendly open airfield anymore. Right, okay. So that was that. Yeah, a couple of good points. 7.5 minute mark, he says the other thing to remember is that you only apply the single worst bombing modifier from all AA during the bomb run. So yeah, what we're talking about here, we've eventually worked it out that if we do come in for this bomb run with everything intact, when I reach this hex here, sorry, hang on. Right, so I'm not sure what that ruckus was. I thought it was somebody at the door, but no, I think it's just kids outside. Yeah, so getting back to this, yeah, what you're saying about the minus. If we do this bomb and run as is, then as soon as we move into this hex here, we're going to have to be at low. We're at medium just now. Yeah, we're going to drop to low into that hex to set our IP to bomb in there, if that's how we go about it. So as soon as we drop to low in that hex, 3 things are going to be checked. The AAA from this will fire at us, so we'll roll for that. That's the AAA concentration around the airfield. It'll fire at us. That'll happen first. The mobile 2K22 inherent AA will then fire at us, and then the SAM will check for long range fire, and if it succeeds at the long range check, it will fire at us as well. So, and out of all the 3, each one of them have, because we would then be starting our bombing run, each one of them, sorry, I'll zoom out a little bit, each one of them will have a negative modifier to our bombing run. So here you can see we're going to be at low altitude. So for the light concentration on the airfield, we're going to have to roll 16 or greater to get the hit. But that leaves a -1 modifier to the bombing run. Then the 2K22 at low altitude would be a 13 or greater to hit. And that would leave a -1 as well. And then the SAM itself, what does that count? No, it's just the AA, isn't it? Sorry, the SAMs don't do that. Yeah, the SAMs don't do that. It just says modifier from all the AA. So you can see that there's 2 -1s there, and what he's saying is you would take the strongest one out the you know, if it had a 2 and a 1, you wouldn't add them both together, you would just take the 2. But both of them being 1s, we would only get 1 -1 modifier. So pretty sure that's what he's saying there. Yeah, and then Yeah, this is when it must completely click for me at the 5 minute 10 second mark. It wasn't long in this video. Yeah, one AAA concentration slash flak barrage attack, then any fire can slash radar AAA, then any mobile AAA, then any SAM. But he says keeping in mind the limit of 2 radar SAM attacks on any flight in 1 movement phase. I remember reading that. So if we did have more than 2 SAMs, we would only be able to get attacked by 2 of them. I think there was maybe some exception to that, but I would look into that at the time. Well, he doesn't mention it in there, so maybe it's not. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. That's pretty much, well, one last one. He says, not about, this was at the 10.5 minute mark, not a big deal here, but real bot flights move in order of proximity to a player flight closest first, then if tied, then choose randomly. Yeah, I forgot about this. It is in the, you know, I think it was when we were looking at between Siskov and Zelenko, which one was going to move first. So, and I probably, whether I picked the wrong one or not, I'm not sure. He says it's not a big deal here, so maybe it didn't matter at all. But yeah, we do need to choose which one first, because it could matter depending on who attacks. Yeah, it could have mattered, but I'll need to keep that in mind. So, right, thanks as always for your comments, John. I think I did get around to replying to them, and I was going to look at some of the older ones, but I think I've spoke about them anyway, and I'm sure you've got used to the fact about me not replying to everything, and you never know. I still might. You never know. Okay, right, let's get moving with this turn 7 then. Okay, yeah, and one of the other things to remember is we've got this 2K22 now back in action. Well, the thing is, if we're getting shot at with inherent, that's the same as that. So I'm assuming we can't take. What I mean is, if we moved into that hex there at low altitude, we would take inherent 2K22 attack from the actual hex. So my guess is that this 2K, you know, we would only get one because they're both the same type AAA, I think. So I'd like to think we only get shot at once with that situation. I'm pretty sure that's right. The way John explained that, it was concentrations, then radar AAs, as in the fire cans, then mobile AAs, i.e. the 2K22s. There was nothing mentioned about inherent in there, so my guess is if the inherent fire is a 2K22, then any 2K22s are just the same as that. So I'm going to look at it anyway. Let me know if I've got that wrong though. Okay, but does that affect us? Probably not. Well, it might well affect us as we turn towards waypoint 5, but that's going to be a tough one for him to get in and out of there without getting any kind of damage, I think, the way it's looking. We've just not cleared things up. We've not dealt with the threats round about the airfield. Okay, well, I was going to start talking about what we want to do, but let's get the turn actually started first and getting a random event rolled. Where are we here? Couple of dice. Right, so random event phase. Let's see what we get. We've got 15. Again, as I like to check. No, it only goes to 14. I've got used to this now. 14 is the last one. So it will, well, maybe apply. Card 2 it is on the back. 15. Ooh, well, I'll tell you what. This might be good. This might be a good one for us. Okay, let's have a look at this together, and I'll also put card 5 out just to. Yeah, this is one that confusing me, but that eventually got straightened out. Okay, let's go and have a look at what 15 is rolled on the random event table. So we can see there, 15, Sead Strike. Roll 1d10 again. 1 to 5 it's Warsaw Pact, 6 to 10 it's NATO. So, if we roll a 1 to 5, then nothing's going to happen because we don't have we don't have any SAMs, EWRs, radar AAs, or actually, well, we do have active AA concentrations within 20 hexes of the front, I suppose. Is it relevant? It's not. I don't think if it lands on them, I'm pretty sure I'm just as well ignoring it. I think they wouldn't get points for like destroying an AA concentration of ours, would they? So I could do it for the sake of it, but more importantly, if we roll 6 to 10, we can make one SEAD attack. References rule 31.6 against a located enemy SAM, EWR, radar AAA, or active AA concentration within 20 hexes of the front. So this could be quite huge. Now, when we look at the solo rules for this is the one that was confusing me slightly. You can see 15 SEAD strike there. Target priority, Nike, Hercules / SA12, Patriot / SA11. I was like, wondering why they were listing them both. And obviously it's clearly because you can play this game playing it as a Warsaw Pact or NATO. So that's telling you if the bot is Warsaw Pact, it'll target the Nike, Hercules, Patriot, Hawk in that order. If you're playing as the NATO, then you'll target an SA12 first. Sorry, if the bot's playing as NATO, SA12 and SA11, SA4 in that order. So that's what that means. So we don't actually need, this is randomly selected, more than one category. Well, we don't actually need that because I don't think it'll bother. If we roll Warsaw Pact here, I'll just leave it, I think, because it's just going to be an AA concentration fire on something, and I don't think it'll matter. So I'll just leave it. Okay, well, however, if we do get a roll of 6 to 10, something good might happen. So here we go. Oh, just 6. Good. Okay. Right, this could be interesting then. Well, let's find, first of all, this rule 31, what was it? 31.6. That player may make one SEAD attack. 31.6. Right, let's have a look at that. Okay, yeah, so I looked up the rule and then I thought, right, I know I'd glanced at it before because we've obviously had this event came up before. So it is on page 48, 31.6, SEAD phase. And it reads, the scenario will designate which player, if any, rolls on the pre-game SEAD table. Obviously none of this applies. The SEAD table may give the player a number of pre-game SEAD attacks. So that's before the game starts, but obviously this event is allowing one within the game. The results of this table represent preparatory artillery, missile attack, helicopter, or special operation attacks on enemy SAM radar or AA locations. Players must pre-designate all SEAD attacks before resolving any of them. A player may use multiple attacks against the same target. So this is something you do before the game started. All targets must be around 20 hexes of the front. Okay, we've got that within the event as well. An attack on a SAM or EWR only affects the targeted SAM or EWR. Attack on a radar AA affects both the radar AA and its associated AA concentration with the result shown. Yeah, okay. If a target takes multiple radar suppression results, add the total number of... Right, okay. Any SAMs destroyed in the SEAD phase count for scenario victory points. So that, I guess that would apply as well. In scenarios where players are instructed to roll twice on the SEAD table, right, we're not having that. So and there's an example there, and that's what got me thinking, well, there must be a table that tells you stuff. So we've got a SEAD table and a SEAD attacks thing here, both referencing 31.6. let's just see if we can work out example here. If it compares, I think it's going to compare to this table here. This looks like, yeah, this looks like what you would roll on pre-game to tell you how many attack rolls you're going to get. See, that gets 4 SAM EWR attack rolls and 3 AA attack rolls. So I don't think this is anything to do with what we're doing here. I think it's just this here. So this example says a CAD attack roll on an SA12 is a 7. So my guess is the rolls in here. Doesn't look like there's any modifiers to that, so it's that there. The attacking player rolls 1d10 and adds 5. Yeah, okay, so you can see SAM, EWR, Radar A suppress 1d10 plus 5 turns, AAA suppress 2. So he rolls 1d10 and adds 5 to determine the number of turns the SE12 is marked Radar suppressed. The SE12 will be suppressed until the admin phase of turn 12. In a separate attack, the NATO player targets a Warsaw Pact fire can Radar AAA and rolls a 5. The fire can will be suppressed 1d10 turns and its associated in hex AA concentration is marked suppress 1. Yeah, that's that one there then. Ooh, this is really good. Oh, it's only 1 die roll. Okay. Yeah, well, it only goes up to 9 plus grand. But for no effect, I still need to roll a 3 or less. So the odds are good. I mean, even just getting this would suppress. Well, if we pick a SAM, it suppresses at 1d10 turns. Or if we pick the AA, we can get a suppress 1. And remember, that doesn't necessarily mean just 1 turn. They've got to roll to try and remove that suppress marker. Okay, so we get 1 shot at this then. Is that right? Play card 2, just look in the back of that again. Right, we've determined it's NATO. That player may make 1 SEAD attack against a located enemy SAM, EWR, Radar AA, or active AA concentration. So it's basically anything we've got out there, I think. It said Radar AA. That, remember the 2K22s count as Radar AA? I always find that's a little confusing because they're actual mobile AA, but they still are classed as radar because they've got radars, but I suppose, but a little bit confusing there. Maybe that could have been clearer. They could have made the rules a bit clearer for that thing. Anyway, maybe that's just a Grant thing again. Oh, this is good then. So, well, I need to select my target first. So what are we going to go for? Yes, indeed. What are we going to go for? Well, we've got one more missile for Silver Fox. He's at medium altitude, going to be able to launch that at medium altitude. He could have a speed of F-16, speed of 3, yeah, because he's still laden, isn't he? So a speed of 3, or he could dash at 5. So, yeah, I mean, these two are targets. And in fact, if I felt this 2K22 was a problem, that could be a target as well. So I do have 3 options there. I think the fact this is past the runway, we don't need to worry about this. So we either target this or this with that, with Silver Fox. Right. This is something I've not looked at. We've looked at what the numbers are to try and take out this SAM, and we've fired 3 missiles already and not been able to do it. Is it easier for me to do something to this? That's what I want to look at just now, just before we start this. Yeah, none of these are going to be any different to hit, are they? Because it's the same modifiers I'm using. The only one that could have been different is the target profile, but it only gives you a -3 to target profile A. And I was just looking there that all AA concentrations are target profile C, whereas the SAM is a profile B, but there's not any bonus to that. There's nothing that says, it's just, if it was an A, that's bad. So, it's not any easier. Right, hang on. Well, hang on. A slight damage result's going to affect it. Yeah, hold on, Grant, because we noticed that. Remember on the damage table, we noticed that from the last time. We rolled on the one column there for a 1 success and a 2 success, and we ended up with a no effect on the 1 and a slight on the 2. But because it was an infrared SAM we were after, the slight did not do anything. Whereas a slight result would affect an AA concentration or a radar equipped AA for that matter. Okay. So maybe that does tell us. Okay, well here's what I think then. I think we should use the SIAD attack to go for this SA-13. Because I'd be happy enough with a die roll of 4 or greater that would suppress it for 1d10 turns. That would be fine. I think that's all we would need. And then our first activation before a bombing run is going to be Silver Fox launching his last EOGM at that. Even getting the slight result would do something to that. Yeah, I like this. Okay. Yeah, because we can't do both. We've only got one EOGM missile left. I still haven't studied the attacking with guns option. Which, okay, maybe I should. Well, let's see if we get a result. I mean, as long as we roll greater than a 3 here. Maybe said that before. Okay, so let's go for this. Well, so we're tagging that SA-13. And it just says a SAM. It doesn't differentiate between a radar SAM or it does say note for SAM and A suppression. See 1821 and 1822. Right. Let's have a glance at that first. 1821 A suppression levels are marked with a counter equal to the suppression level. Yeah, that's fine. That one worked out. They only go up to level 3. But if I'm not going to do that, radar suppression. Suppressed SAM, CWR and radar equipped A are marked with a radar suppress marker and must turn or keep the radars off during the turn the suppression occurs. Yeah, and then it would be shut down. Then it would have to attempt to. Oh no, hang on. It's not a radar. It's not a radar, Grant. It's an infrared one. Suppress SAMs. If already marked. Right, but these aren't. What about infrared SAMs then? Can we not do that to them? Surely I would have read that by now. Right, I'm not sure I can do this then. Because I'm just looking at the normal damage table. The effects. Sorry, I'll zoom out a little bit. If we were going in to attack this infrared SAM, right, normally, now clearly says that if it's a slight result on infrared SAMs, it's treated as no effect. However, if it wasn't a slight result, let's just say we got a heavy result. Well, heavy says AA concentration suppressed 2. Okay, so that's fine. Radar equipped AAA, SAM. No, it does just say SAM, Grant. EWR damage. Other targets, heavy damage. Yeah, so that tells me that you can't suppress infrared SAMs. That's right, isn't it? That's why the slight effect doesn't work. Right, does it not explain that to us in that SIAD thing? I mean, this is just, there's no... because the reference this note for SAM A suppression C1821, 1822. 1822 is talking about radar suppression, but this is not a radar SAM. There's not one bit of mention about an infrared SAM in that SIAD bit. Pre-game SIAD table. Well, that's what that is. Is there any mention of infrared in there? Not really, but I mean, SIAD is suppression of enemy air defences. I'm kind of stuck here, guys. It's not really telling me that I can't do it, but when I read into it, I don't think infrared SAMs get suppressed. But then, why not? I mean, that's annoying. There's no mention of the infrared. Surely it would say something that infrared SAMs couldn't be affected by this. An attack on a SAM or EWR only affects the targeted SAM. Just says, oh, hang on. Located. Yeah, they can be located. It has to be a located SAM, but they are located. Because remember, infrared SAMs can either be hidden or located. They can't be unlocated. Is that right? Have you got that right, Grant? The way you're talking about that? Frantically trying to find. No, it's under SAM states. There we go. Infrared SAMs have only two states: located or hidden. So they are located. Right, let me look a little more. Unless that's going to stop me from doing what I want to do here, unless I get the answer to this. Yeah, I'm going to pop a quick question out there. It might be a daft question because I might find it, but right, give me a sec. Okay, I just searched for suppressed within the rule book there on the computer, and yeah, a place I should have looked was, what rule is it actually? 15 point something. The rule that tells you about infrared SAMs. Who would have thought it? Yeah, page 28, 15.44, infrared homing SAMs. The last bullet, infrared SAMs ignore radar suppressed damage results, and then it's got 18.22 in brackets, square brackets, which is what I was just looking at about radar suppression, because I thought, well, they can't do that, and there you go. So they ignore that. So I was about to still kind of ask the question along the lines of, I suppose there's no point attacking infrared SAMs because they can't be suppressed. However, if we did roll a 9 or a 10, you can see that the SAM that we target would be destroyed. However, I don't fancy my chances with that. So we're now going to switch this thought. Yeah, I don't need to ask this question. If I'm not giving everything right here, I think John will fill me in with what's missing. But if I take on an infrared SAM, I can still take it on, but I need a 9 or 10 on the die to destroy it completely. Because if I get any other result, they're all suppression results, or they're no effect, of course, which would all be no effect to the infrared SAM. So we are not going to target that SA13, and we're going to leave that to Silver Fox now. Okay. So with that in mind now, what a time I take. 35 minutes there. There wasn't much talking about comments to start with. So with that in mind, our options now are, well, there's no other AA concentrations to really concern us. The AA concentration in that airfield, which is our target, which I think that's what I'm going for. Or my guess would be that 2K22. But the fact we're going to be at low altitude and then inherent 2K22s are floating about anyway, that doesn't really take care of everything. So yeah, that is going to be my target. The airfield, the AA concentration in the airfield. So we're going to roll on that and try and suppress that. So I think that's right. So as you can see, let's see, I'll roll a booming 2 or a 3 here. Or a 1. So as long as I roll a 4 or greater, we've got something. Right, here we go. 1 die roll for this SEAD strike. Oof, just. Right, okay. Well, that's not going to be great. That's just going to have a suppression of 1, isn't it? Because this is AA this time. Hang on. Yeah. So if it was radar AAA, it'd be suppressed 1d10 turns. So if it had been the 2K22 we went for, but we didn't. We just picked the concentration. So it's a suppression of 1. And I did bring out markers for that before. That's when I was trying to find a bigger marker. And then I found I had to just use dice. Right, I must have put them back, I think. Right, hang on. Right, okay, so there we go. So we've got a suppression of 1. I'll just put that actually over the airfield on the AAA concentration in that hex. So what that means is, well, hopefully that'll be good enough. Now, I think now we've got to just go for the bomb run, because there's a chance that that's going to come off, I think. Let me just check how that comes off. Right, well, actually, I've got the page open, but page 36, 18.21a, suppression levels. Suppressed AA concentration are marked with a counter equal to the suppression level, and add penalty modifiers to the rolls on the AA damage table. Oh, so they still get to attack? Each level of suppression reduces the parenthesized AA modifier in the AA table by 1 towards 0. Concentration may only have 1 suppression marker. If a suppressed concentration takes another suppression result, add the value of the new suppression result to the existing suppression level, but never above level 3. Suppressed AA concentrations roll a die in each admin phase on a roll of 8 or greater, reduce the suppression level by 1. If already at level 1, remove the suppression marker. So hang on. Does that mean it's still going to fire? What does it say? It reduces, each level suppression reduces the parenthesized AAA modifier. Well, is that all it does? Can it still fire? The parenthesized AAA modifier on the AAA table what I'm thinking that means is the modifiers in brackets there, it reduces them by 1. But so yeah, does that mean nothing? They can still just fire at us, though. Missing something here, am I not? I need to look up AA and see what it says about being suppressed. Okay, I've been totally missing what that does then, because that's rubbish. So the suppression doesn't really do... It only affects the modifier that you've got in brackets. That's not any good. Surely it does. Sure. Well, can we not destroy them then? Come on, I'm missing something here. Because to be honest, that's been a pointless... It was pointless me attacking that then. Really, because when I move into this hex here at low altitude, I'm still going to be attacked by this. Now it's not going to give... It's going to give a 0 modifier to the bomb run, but the inherent AA mobile... mobile 2K22 and that hex is going to attack me also, and it'll give me the -1 modifier. So it's no... Really, is that all that happens? I'm not seeing anything there at all that says anything different happens when you hit a... when you suppress it. Let me look at the... If we just normally attacked it. Where are we? So we would get an A concentration suppress 1, or suppress 2, or suppress 3. This damage table 18.2. Yeah, but it talks... This is where it talks about suppression levels. Target is slightly damaged. Radar equipped the EWR and SAM units are suppressed for 1d10 turns. A concentrations are marked with suppression level 1. And then it tells you about suppression levels. Each level of suppression reduces the parenthesized AA modifier on the AA table by 1. Well, that's rubbish. That is not doing what I thought it might be doing. Unless I'm missing something. I don't think I am. All it does is the numbers and brackets there on that chart, it reduces them by the suppression level. So they still fire. Oh well. So in all honesty, me talking about going for this, because you can't do anything more to it, can you? Can I get a better result? Well, yeah, I can. No, I can't. The biggest result you can get on any AA concentration is suppress 3. It doesn't destroy it or anything, it just suppresses it 3. That can't be right. Surely you're missing something, Grant. I don't know, maybe it's just meant to be that there's lots of different targets down there firing up in the air, and that's all. It's just reducing some of it. It's not completely wiping it out, and you're still going to get... it's flak, isn't it? I mean, going back to the old films in the World War II films where you've seen flak appearing everywhere and the planes are flying about, then I guess it's coming from lots of different bits, and basically you're just reducing... No, it's not affecting the actual attack from them at all, though. Reduce mod by 1, 2, or 0 for every level of A suppression. Yeah. I figured they'd be conked out for that amount of turn. Well, it's not turns, remember, that's just a level 1. But that's not what I'm seeing. I'm not seeing that they can't attack me if they're suppressed. That's, I guess, what I was looking for, but I'm not seeing that. And it doesn't flip it to inactive, because once it's activated, it's active all the time. And remember that this is just that's not one of the counters. Immediately each time the following applies. Yeah, okay, well I've not understood that that was what was going to happen. throughout the whole game of this. Now hang on. We attacked, or did we? Did we not attack flak in one of the previous scenarios? Okay, I've obviously just not been understanding that, or I mean, in that way, I look back, it was scenario 2, we had 4, that's when we first seen 4 flak, light flak markers. And I just checked the last video of that, and I didn't touch any of them. We must have just flew around about them, or... I do seem to recall talking about possibly trying to take them out, though, and I feel that I got a response for John. I could just be making this up, to be honest. I feel like I got some response saying that, yeah, you could take them out, but they're not going to do anything for you, and they're not going to give you victory. They weren't giving me victory points or anything, but the way I'm reading things here is I can't take them out at all. So I must just be making that up, because John's not going to be... I've been telling me, yeah, you could take them out if you want. If they can't be taken out, he would have clearly made that clear to me. So, no, there's not one result that takes out an 80 concentration. It just gives it suppression 1, 2, or 3. That's all it does. Right, okay. Well, if I am missing something, it'll be brought to my attention, no doubt. So that was... pretty much a waste of time, that. We'd been better going for that 2K22. Can I allow myself... Because at least with the 2K22, it's a radar that we can suppress for so many turns. I'm just going to leave it up, because I've done it now. I would feel like that would be messing my hands a bit, I think. And to be honest, that 2K22 probably isn't... Well, in actual fact, this one might be more of an issue really when if the bomber gets to there. No, who knows? Right, I'll just leave it. I've done it now. I know now, I suppose, that's not not very good. Okay. Right, that was just the event phase, wasn't that? Right, let's move on then. To what, Grant? Let's move on to the next part of the sequence of play, which is the jamming phase. So... Well, this is relevant, yeah, because we moved Condorf right here, so we are going to standoff jam again. Now, I want to say I maybe want to do it like that, possibly. That means it goes up. Oh, I think I got my... I went to try and get new batteries for this. And it's 3 wee tiny watch batteries, which I thought it would just be a normal size small battery. But it's not, it's 3 little watch batteries, which maybe tells you on there what it is. And I was like, oh, okay, I don't think I've got any of them. So I'll need to look out for some of them. However, I fiddled about with it and moved it about a bit, and yeah, we've got it back working now, but my guess is the batteries are probably on the way out. So yeah, so that would be the line there. So it doesn't catch that 2K22 there, but however, when it moves north 1, 2, 3, it's going to be up there. It's still no maybe. Oh yeah, it would go through it there. So it would catch that next turn. But we don't need to catch this just now anyway. So if it was there, maybe more importantly, well no, it's going to go along like that, isn't it? So that's picking everything up. Now, if the flight moves up 3 hexes, 1, 2, 3, next turn we're going to be looking at that, which should be fine as well. So I think that's good. Is that right? Yeah. So up that hex like that, and then that, isn't it? That's our 60 degrees. Yeah? Yeah, I think so. Okay, so I'll put it like that, and we will also spot jam. The EWR's like... well, we'll spot jam that 2K22, and yeah, there's not a real need for that one. I'm as well just putting it on the EWR right enough. I'm gonna, it might do something. Well, no, actually, hang on, because all our flights are detected anyway, aren't they? So there's no point in that. Yeah, there isn't. So, and that one's not in our arc. So, well, I'll just chuck it on that then. I'll chuck on that 2K22 and that one. Just in case. I mean, Silver Fox is there, but he's at medium altitude, so he's fine, to be honest. And I think his plan was to probably stay at medium, because you've got that inherent AA. Okay, so we'll do that. That's jamming phase. Detection phase, well, like I say, all our aircraft are detected. Yeah, Condor as well. And I want to say his R2. I think this is detected as well. Yeah, so Enco is, and then Richter is the last flight on the map there. He's detected as well, so there's no need to roll for any of that. Okay, so on the movement phase, right. I'll show you this die roll, because I realise that this can be important, getting the initiative. Okay, so 1 to 6, it is NATO. Here we go. Oh dear. Right, well, it's going to be the Warsaw Pact. Yeah, that's not good. Well, our bombers are far enough back that they shouldn't be targeted yet, but yeah, to be honest, and even Silver Fox, who's the one that's got a weapon, is further back as well, so I don't think any of them are going to get any of the grief. Right, but we still need to draw a chat first, so I mean, you never know about that. I'm just going to check how many's in this cup. I always fear that I might spill. No, there's 10 in the cup, that's right. Oh, I should have them up. Right, here we go. We've got a 3 in the large. There's going to be something anyway. Yeah, 2. Yeah. Right, it's probably going to activate both. Well, we still have that Richter flight, which maybe some of you say shouldn't be there, but well, I chose that decision back a while ago to split that flight, and it seemed like it was within the rules to do it. I know what John was saying, they were both doing the same thing. They were both getting out of there. You know, there was nothing that one... Well, there was, yeah, by splitting it, allowed one of them to dash and one of them not to, I suppose, but... which might have been relevant, you know. Anyway, we've done it, so he is part of their flight. So we've got a spade there, a heart, and that'll be a diamond, I think, underneath. Well, let's just check, because if it's not, it is. Right, so let's roll a die. We need to play red card 5. Whatever that might be. Play red card 5, right. So, yeah, let's roll. Roll the 4. As a spade. Well, it's going to get it, and then I'll get one of the other flights as well. It just won't get both the fight at the cat missions, which is probably what we would have preferred, to be honest. But there you go, that's how it goes. Right, so it's going to be their first initiative. Just without looking at Hines, we know he's crippled. He's got a crippled aircraft on board. That's right, isn't it? It was crippled, that one. The other one was damaged, wasn't it? Richter, he's got a crippled and a good aircraft. Right. So he can only set combat thrall, he doesn't need to climb, and just wants to get out of there. So, MiG-21 at high altitude, combat thrall is 4. So he's just going to move 4 hexes forward there. 1, 2, 3. Well, you know what? That's half a hex. So let's just say he's gone as well. I'll just take his altitude marker away, and we can roll for recovery with him. Yeah, that's another thing I forgot, which I reminded myself recently, that and we should probably be taking wee notes here, because am I not right in saying that 2 pilots have been killed in action for the Warsaw Pact, which would give us points. So I think I probably need to take a note of this on a bit of paper somewhere, because not only that, Hess Flight rolled for recovery on a damaged aircraft, and that does mean that we get a point, because enemy aircraft recovers damaged. That means we get a point for that. I mean, they're going to get a point for, they're going to get 2 points for our Cobra flight because he's crippled. Well, that's assuming he doesn't also crash. However, they get the same points for that, so... but we do need to get Cobra across to the other side of the front, or we would lose extra points for the pilot. Yeah. Okay, yeah, but... Yeah, I should be maybe tallying this up. I'll maybe need to do that next scenario, is keep an eye on keep an eye on these things, and just tally them up, because I'll probably lose touch with that. Okay. So he's off, so he'll come next turn. I'll just mark him a finished cube as well. Right, so between these two, we need to roll Siskov and Zelenko. Just an odd or even roll. So odd for Siskov. I rolled 4, so it's even. So it is Zelenko. Okay, so he's right on top of Cobra. Or Cobra's right on top of him, however you want to look at it. Now their altitudes are on their card, so they're both sitting at medium altitude actually. You'll notice he's got a max turn marker on him as well. I've just put some of these markers on the cards just to clear things out. Right, so Zelenko. Does he not? Well, I suppose you still need to roll. I mean, can he not just... he's in the same hex. He still needs to spend a movement point, doesn't he? Well, I've never been in this position before, right? So he can't turn with his first movement point, right? Well, he's not got any markers on him, so there's no issues there. So he is going to engage, and his closest target is in the hex. So his closest target is Cobra. So it's got to be Cobra, but he's still going to roll. He's still going to roll on to attempt BVR or standard. Now, he does have BVR weapons, yes. Well, I suppose I'll roll for it first, and then if our BVR, again, if for some reason we can't get at BVR wise, then we can, well, I'm pretty sure he can get him at standard air. However, like I've said, he does need to spend a movement point. But he could just turn in the hex, couldn't he? Not spending a movement point. Yeah, that's probably what he would do. So, right, well, let's roll first, because he might still select BVR here. I don't think there's anything to say. We still need to roll for this. So 1 is, 6 or less, it's BVR. Right, so it is. Yeah, more odd feelings about this then, because yeah, this, especially in the fact that the Warsaw Pact want to prefer standard air, and they're sitting in the hex. All he needs to do is turn in the hex. Well, actually, no, he can't turn. He can't turn to start with anyway. Let me just check though, just in case I'm missing something. No, well, I'm not finding anything that should try and override this, or that's not to say that it's maybe not there, but I'm not finding it anyway. So he's going to try and BVR. So nearest detected enemy flight. Rules of engagement. Yeah, rules of engagement might prevent this again as well. So select the nearest detected human player flight, ignoring human player flights stacked with bot flights. Do you see where I'm at with that one? Determine target. Select the nearest detected human player flight, ignoring human player flights that are stacked with bot flights. I mean, I think what that's meaning is if we were looking at Siskov right here rather than Zelenko, our nearest human player flight would be Cobra, however he's stacked with a friendly aircraft. He's stacked with another friendly flight. He's stacked with a bot flight. But you can see where I'm looking at Zelenko here saying Cobra is stacked with Zelenko. So do I ignore Cobra here? Or should I be reading it the way I've just said, that it's meaning... Well, to be honest, if we were attempting standard area here as well, it says that it's got the exact same rule. You determine the target, you select the nearest detected human player flight, ignoring human player flights stacked with bot flights. So it would be exact same condition here. So surely that's not meant to mean what I'm trying to make it out as. Because I think it's common sense. What it means is Siskov cannot BVR Cobra or air-to-air Cobra because it's in a hex stacked to another bot. Because the BVR would clearly break the rules of engagement. It wouldn't be able to do it. And, well, standard air-to-air, I guess, maybe you can't have more than 2 flights stacked in a hex or something. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to assume that I'm allowed to still consider Cobra as a target here. But, so looking back again, we want to move as follows. Dash throttle unless already set. Well, we can dash. Altitude-wise, we're at the same altitude, so no issues there. And in max range, longest range BVR weapon, move an enemy forward arc if possible, then beam, then rear. So yeah, but we're going to have exactly the same problem as I had before. If we move into his forward or his beam arc, then this flight is going to be within 2 hexes, and that would break the rules of engagement. So the only way we can BVR him is the same thing. In fact, it's just the exact same thing as we've done already, isn't it? As by coming around the rear of him. So is he going to be able to achieve that? This kind of feels wrong, doesn't it? Feels like he should just be getting in air to air here. I'm not really seeing. I'm not seeing anything. Just engagement actions. You've got to roll to decide. Unless I can't get into range or the rules of engagement prevent that. And he is the nearest enemy flight. Well, again, unless we are talking about him being stacked with the same flight that we're about to move, but I don't see that being right. Yeah, go to engagement actions. Nah, I'm not getting anything from that. Okay, right, let me pause in, have a look and see if I can get round about the back of him. Now I'm going to get, I can't turn to start with mine because I've got max turn and my speed clean at medium is 4, but I can dash at 6. That's going to affect the turns though. Okay, I don't think we can get this with 6 movement. Now he has to start by moving forward, he can't turn, so I was using this. So I was saying 1 movement, then do a 90-degree turn, which is the most he can do at speed 6. So that'd be 30, 60, 90s facing north, into there for a 3rd point, movement point. Then 4th movement point, 30, 60, 90. That's 4. And then 5. You know, the best I can get is facing, so I just move that, like that. And that's attacking from his beam, which means that this is within 2 and we can't launch. And the other option was, I think I could end up there, and that is not in our forward arc, is it? No. So he's not in our forward arc. Is that right? Yeah, I'm just looking at the arcs. I think so, because that would be, yeah, we'd be coming, that's our forward arc there, so, or his, A flight, that's his forward arc. So that does not go into the hex. So I don't think we can get around to be able to achieve this. So in some ways I think that's quite good though, because it kind of feels like you should be doing other things. And turning the other way is not going to help either, because remember, Cobra is facing that way. If anything, it would be round that side that might have achieved it. And remember, I'm having to do that because I need to get in his rear arc or to be able to achieve the rules of engagement. Okay, so I don't think we can do it. And also remember, we would have to be at range 1 with him as well. Remember, we eventually realised that because we're attacking from the rear, the range has to be 1 hex. So it's not that we could be further away. Not that I could have achieved that anyway, but, well, no, I don't think so. So I'm going to say we can't do that. So we are going to attempt standard air-to-air. Right. So move as follows. Combat is, it's the same target. Combat or dash, throttle, whichever is needed to engage. Move to enter enemy flight hex at same altitude if able. From rear hemisphere if possible. Right, well, if he's not going to be able to get around the rear, well, yeah, the fact we're in the hex already, but I can't turn in the hex. So move to enter enemy flight hex at same altitude if able. Well, I don't think we can. I mean, I could climb to high altitude right now and then just engage them then, I think. Yeah, just because we've never been in this position before. We can't come in from the rear. Well, actually, that's maybe not true. Because did I not say I could end up facing south? That would be in his rear beam, which is good enough. 10th engagement at 10, not possible. Yeah. Okay, right, I think I'm going to show you how. I'm just going to do what I've done. So we're going to set dash throttle. And then it's going to go 1, because he's got to move straight ahead to start with. He's at medium altitude, we don't need to bother about altitude. Then he's going to 90-degree turn, 30, 60, 90, that's facing north. Then he's going to, that's 2 movement points, 3 movement points into the arc, then another 90-degree turn, 30, 60, 90. That's 4 movement points. And then 5 movement points onto that spine, and then do another 90-degree turn on his 6 movement point, 30, 60, 90, and he's in there like that. I think that's probably about the best that I can see happening. Because he is at the rear hemisphere. Remember, he's not right in the hex, okay? Is that the same altitude? Yeah, I'm going to go with that. By all means, let me know your thoughts if I'm making a mess of things here. That max turn would have came off with his first movement point. So yeah, so he is going to engage or attempt to now engage in standard air combat against Cobra. Okay, good stuff. Right, let's look at that then. Okay, so let's just double check. Standard air engagement requirements. Defender detected and not stacked with friendly flight. Ah, right, there you go. That's why the bot wouldn't do that. So you could see that I was right how I was thinking about that. I know that was probably my stupid way of thinking. Because at the start of the movement, he was stacked with a friendly flight, a bot flight, if you like. But however, he's not now because that was, yeah, okay. So all good there. Defender within 1 hex and same altitude or 1 altitude below. Yes, we're at same altitude, he's within 1 hex. If not in same hex, attacker has defender in forward arc. He does, yes. Attacker has undepleted weapon. He does. Attacker not disordered, aborted, or did Sam avoid this turn? All AA or Sam attacks in current hex resolved. Yes. Yeah, he just ignores all of that anyway, doesn't he? Yeah. Okay. So we both roll on this, remember. So yeah, so we're both detected. It is the day. So the base level's a 10. So we're going to roll for him first here. And this is 2 dice. 2 dice. And our modifiers now, all the modifiers apply. So his aggression value is, I want to say -1. Yeah, so it's a -1. There's no difference in altitude band. Flight is disorder. Well, we're going to get that, but that's not how. He's not target rear hemisphere. We're going to get that as well. So no other modifiers for him apply. So he gets a -1 to this, and needs what did I say, a 10. Yeah, easy. 15. If he ends up with surprise again here, then we're in trouble, I think. Right, so over at us, our aggression value, well, it's still +1. No difference in altitude, but we are disordered. This is Cobra flight, the F-15s. So that's a -1. That takes away, so we're down to 0. And then target is in our rear hemisphere, and he is. So we're getting a -1 to this as well. So we need a 10 too. Oh, come on. Right. Okay, so it's a yes and a no again. Yes for attacker, no for defender. So attacker's got surprise, defender has disadvantage. Yeah, so on we go. So now we're going to move on to... So I'm going to do maneuver, shot resolution, depletion, and damage allocation for him first, and then I'll do it for myself. And remember, these are... oh, come on, don't forget the word again. Oh. They happen at the same time, okay? Okay, so maneuver table for him. Now the modifiers to the maneuver rating. Flight climbed this movement phase. No, he did not. Flight zoom climb. No. Marked with maneuver. No. Marked with BVR. So none of them apply. So his differential. That's the 2 flights there. We're both at medium. So we're both clean. So he's got a +5. And we've got a +9, so we're doing pretty well against them there. Obviously the F-15 is really good with us, so that's going to be a -4 to him there. And then the aggression level, so -4. Let's keep a dice here. So -4 there. And remember, when it comes to us, we're going to get +4 out of that. Aggression level, he's at -1. We're at +1. So that's another -2. So he's at -6. Geometry. If the attacker's in the defender's rear or rear beam, yeah, that's right. So he is going to benefit here. So he gets a +1, and we're going to get the -1 there. So he gets a +1 for that. That takes him down to -5. And then enemy flight is disordered. It is. He's going to get a +1 for that, taking him down to -4. Flight has surprise. It does indeed. Taking him down to -1. Not so good now. Flight is disadvantage. We're going to get that. Enemy flight is disengaging. No. Combat night. No. So he's only got a -1 after all that. He does only have 1 aircraft in the flight though. So again, yeah, he already attacked before, didn't he? And never achieved anything. Yeah. So he's got a -1 and he's only got 1 aircraft. That's right, isn't it? Zelenko, isn't it? Yeah. Yes. So on the 1 column, but remember that's the dice roll this time. On the 1 column, with a -1. Yeah, let's get rolling. So -1. Ooh, that's bad. So only 3. 4 -1 is 3. So he's not going to get any shot opportunities. That's right, innit? Oh, well, we've got lucky here then. However, we're still going to have to go through morale checks, I think, even though there's no shots. I think we still need to go through that. So let me just check. Let's see everyone's on the back of this, isn't it? So that was maneuver. And then resolve each shot. If no shot's taken, skip to F. So yeah, he's skipping to morale now, but we need to go through that procedure that he's just went through, because we might get a shot here. In fact, we've got a better chance here, actually. This actually could end up being good. Well, we shall see. So, but remember, we've got 4 aircraft, haven't we? Hang on. We've got 1 crippled aircraft. So I want to say, yeah, roll on the table using the column for the number of undamaged aircraft in the flight. So we don't count the 4th aircraft. So we roll in the 3 column. Yeah, we can't. Ooh, yeah, I wonder if I've missed. No, I don't think I have. I don't think I've missed that before. Yeah, because we didn't count his shot down aircraft, obviously. Right, so we're rolling on the 3 column. But what about our modifiers? Well, we already said we get a +4 to the maneuver. Hang on. Any of these apply? No, because we didn't move. It was him that moved. So we get a +4 for the maneuver differential. Sorry. And we get a +2 for the aggression differential. That's up to 6. Now, the geometry, we get a -1 because he was coming for the rear, so that's down to +5. Enemy flight disordered. Well, no, that was a benefit he got. Flight has surprise, he got that. We get flight as disadvantage, so that's a -1. We're still getting that +4 out of this, by the way. So, yeah, we're still getting a +4. And on the 3 column, so yeah, here we go. Oh, look at that. 18. Yes, 18 +4 is 22. This could be really good. So 22 is a way down here. 5 shot opportunities. Am I getting this right? Am I cheating somewhere? Oh, I mean, okay, there was a big difference in the die roll there. 5 shot opportunities. Wow. Well, I don't know. I'm saying I don't want to take them on, but we're disordered anyway. Yeah. Yeah, something feels off here. Am I missing something? I mean, because we can't, in a disordered state, we can't initiate air-to-air combat. That's not to say that we can't maybe defend ourselves, though. I mean, one of the modifiers there was enemy flight is disordered. So, let me just check disordered state again. Yeah, there's nothing to stop us. I mean, it says disordered state, you can't initiate air-to-air combat. Well, just looking at that, though, I may want to just put this in my head, because it says do not roll for disorder recovery if the flight was, and the second bullet is, engaged in air-to-air combat that turn. I would never have thought that. It's just while I was looking at that. I understand that, my understanding of that was when it was engaged and got its disordered state through air-to-air combat, that's why you wouldn't do it that turn, but it doesn't really state that. It says do not roll for disorder recovery if the flight was engaged in air-to-air combat that turn. Unless it's meaning it that way and I'm overthinking things, but... Okay, well, I don't see why we can't do that, so we're going to have 5 shots maybe. Well... well, to be honest, if we get, well, he's only got 1 aircraft, so yeah, but I feel like I could. Right, we've got to select an undepleted weapon. What have we got? I think probably our guns, no? Cobra he doesn't have his radar home missiles, because infrared missiles, which are a +3 with a 3 depletion, and our guns are +3 with a 2 depletion. So we use our guns. So we're going to get a +3 to this. That's a combat value. We're also going to get a +1 because we do have the radar home, the infrared missiles as well. So we do have an extra. And this is air-to-air, it's not BVR. So we're getting a +4 on each of these rolls. But I'm just hoping that 1 might just do us. You can see what we want. We want a 16 to 19. So here goes. With a what did I say? A +4. That's too big. That's 19 +4. You know what? I think that might be a no effect. That's 23. No, it's not. 1 aircraft damaged. Okay. Well, hold on, Grant. Do you not just want to just leave it at that? Well, there's a temptation to shoot it down, isn't there? Because he's now going to have all his aircraft damaged. Remember, he's only got 1 aircraft. So he's going to have all his aircraft damaged. He's now going to abort. So he's done. But, you know, all these shots, are we going to... Is Cobra likely to do anything else? He's not, is he? He's not. He's done his job pretty well, right? Just at the end, well, to be honest, no, I think he done really well, actually. It was all about keeping his weapons, and he didn't deplete for a long time. Right, that's me taking 1 off my 5 shots. I think I'm going to try a couple. Well, I might even as well try all 5 of them, really. Right, let's go again. We get a +4 still. 7 +4 is 11. That's probably nothing. So that's no effect. So that's 2 of my 5 shots. Right, I'm going again. So again, with a +4. That could be it. 12 +4, 16. That's the one. Yes. 1 aircraft shot down. So that was, we spent 3 of our 5 shots. We're not going to spend the other 2 because there's no point. Now we go to damage allocation, but well, actually we check for depletion first, don't we? Well, let's just do that. So the depletion roll would be, I said it was my guns, so it's a 2, but we had 3 shots here, so we're going to get a -2 to this. You get -1 for each beyond the first. So this is just a single die roll, isn't it? Yeah, so with a -2, our depletion level is 2 though. So here we go. That's good. 9. So we're not even depleted. And then damage allocation. Well, he's only one aircraft in the flight. We've got a damage result and a kill and a shot down result, so we don't need to roll the dice. We're shooting him down. So he's gone. That's good stuff. So Zelenko bites the dust. That says flight shot down. Right, we'll get to, well, we need to check for bailout and that. However, we're going to go through morale as well. So, well, I can take him off the board now, can't I? Well, hang on, he does need to bail out, yeah. Right, let's check the next step. So we've done shot resolution, we checked depletion for our weapons there, we've done damage allocation. So we are at morale, but well, he's no flights left. So we're looking to do morale, scatter, and then put markers on, then bail out, then mark fuel. So basically he's not involved in this though, is he? I mean, because he's toast. So I don't think we need to do any of that because his flight's gone. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we were here before, Grant. You don't need to. Okay, so but we need to check this. Now we're rolling on the air column, which is the one on the left. Our aggression value is a +1. We did not have surprise. We had disadvantage, so that takes us down to 0. We will get a +1 for... I think I looked at this before. Can you have this? No. Surely not. Surely it's one or the other. You know, I guess what I'm trying to say is we damage the aircraft first, then we shot it down. Did we get a +2? No, stop, Grant. You're trying to cheat now. I don't think so. That doesn't make sense, does it? So a +1, -1, that's 0. We get a +1 for that. He done nothing to us. So we're getting a +1 on this. This roll. So here we go. Where are we? 7. Oh, do we want high here, don't we? Yeah, that's not good. So 7 + 1 is 8. What was that giving us? Yeah, that's bad. Well, we're already disordered. So it's a -2 to our aggression value. Well, that is bad. That is going to mark us down to something horrible. So -2 takes us down. We were at +1, so we're now down to -1. To be honest, he's done his job. I suppose Siskov could come after Cobra as well, though. Well, bring it on. And then -2 for that. So we would jettison check. We're a clean flight. So disordered, jettison check above, adjust aggression value. Flight is disordered. Flight is in the defensive wheel. Remove defensive wheel. So can we be disordered again? I don't. What are we looking for here? I'm already disordered. I suppose I'm looking to see is there anything beyond that? Could it do something else to you if you're disordered again? But not really seeing that. So we would do scatter next, wouldn't we? Yeah, I can only assume it just doesn't do anything to us, to be honest. Right, so now we're going to go to scatter, aren't we? Which is up the top there. Now we are facing, without coming along to the map, we are on this one. So I'll just roll this. Well, no, I'll roll it on camera in case it has an effect. So let's see, this is 1 die roll. No modifiers to this. 8. Right, so you can see it's going up to the right, northeast if you like, from its facing. So there's the flight. So northeast from where it's facing is into that hex there. So it's going to turn and move in that way, which doesn't cause it any trouble. No. Oh, it was an even roll as well. So it stays. The roll is odd, the flight descends. It wasn't, it was even. Yeah, so that's good. So it stays at medium altitude. Good. And that was that. And obviously the other flight. Well, I've left them here just now because we need to then check for bailout. So that was, we've done scatter. Right, markers, place maneuver markers. Yeah, we got a maneuver marker as well. So I'll put that on his card beside everything else. Still disordered at medium altitude. Got a maneuver marker. Well, we can take this away. This is gone. The MiG-23s are down. And then any other markers? Mark disordered. Well, we've already disordered anyway. Flip counters to undetected side. Yeah, so he becomes undetected as well. Okay, good stuff. Right, so bailout and then mark fuel. So it's on one of the player aid cards. That there is player aid card 3 bailout. So a 1 to 4, the crew would be killed, and this is for Zelenko. And there's only one. There was only one pilot in that. Yeah. So we're going to roll for that. I kind of need to show you this. Don't know. Right, so rolling for bailout, this is just the 1d10. Yeah, so 1 to 4, he's killed. 5 to 9, we place a parachute marker. 10, we roll another down. 7. Okay, so place a parachute marker in the hex. You know what, he's going to land on his own side, so everything good there, really. So I don't think we technically need to. We've got one here though, so hang on. So we'll take off Zelenko, he's gone, and we will place that parachute marker. I don't really want to put it on top of the 2K22. So can I just put in there and... It doesn't matter. He's landing on his own side of the front. We're not gonna gain any points from that. So Zelenko away. So just Siskov left, which is good. Right, that was our 2 activations, wasn't it? I think everyone's done there, so I can put that back in the cup, and we'll call that apart because it's turned into an hour and 30, an hour and a half. Right, so it's all got time. Yeah, it looks hopeless that I'm going to attempt to try and set some other game up on the other table. That's not going to happen tonight, after all. But the good news is I'll get another part of this in, at least. It's not, well, mind you, the time probably is pushing on. It is. It's never enough time, like I say. But that's them had their activation, so it will be NATO to go next. And yeah, we'll see what we're... Well, this whole AAA suppression thing was a bit of a bummer, but however, at least we've found out how it works now. Well, maybe now some of our folks can take on that SC13 and do something at last to it. We shall see. Okay, I'll be back soon with the next part. Okay, cheers.